Andrew Amann. I'm the CEO and founder of 923 AI Studio. So we build AI products for established brands and funded startups. We've been doing it for 13 years now. Basically, the products that we build are mobile apps, web apps, and AI solutions for helping companies achieve additional revenue or reducing their cost through AI automations. Sure, I think businesses are already falling behind. What's happening now with AI is that agents are starting to do autonomous workflows for humans. And so if you look at your competitors, they're already using some sort of autonomous agent or workflow or task inside of their company that's creating hundreds of thousands of opportunities that have never been created before. So those systems are designed to flood the internet with content or product data or information, and those agents are now able to capitalize and synthesize all that information for the receiving end. And so between product information or product data, and if you go all the way down to some of the stuff we build, which is workflow automation, we have a massive opportunity to save time where humans are usually wasting their time throughout their days. We like to say we're taking the robot out of the human. So all of those manual tasks that have been done before are already being replaced by AI agents and autonomous systems. And so if your company is not looking in the next 12 to 24 months of how you're going to achieve that and be done achieving that by 24 months, you're starting too late. Yeah, so just like I talked about in the speech, human has an intent. We are human when we think of something, and we are human how we purchase across the internet. At the receiving end, the product descriptions are created by humans because they're selling. And so if you look at the line of someone making a sale and someone thinking of a product that they want to purchase, there's a human at the very end of that. Now the percentages in the middle are now blurred. There's a lot of autonomy happening there. And it used to be maybe, well, back in the 1900s, it was 100% human salesman to human product purchaser. And then we started using computer software, and maybe there's 50% from 2020 to 2022, 50% of that transaction between someone making a sale and somebody purchasing a product, maybe 50% of that was human-based. But now we're starting to see 80% being autonomous, 90% being autonomous. But at the very end, it's still a human making the decision and a human making the purchasing decision. And so if you look at that scale, we have to realize as product sellers and as purchasers, how much are we willing to give up? Do we still want the autonomy, or do we still want the human touch when we think of a product? The old way of the internet was affiliate links and the blue links on the Google search results. And so the way that the internet was structured was that you wanted to win the top of the funnel. You wanted to get that first click. The top of the funnel also surfaced companies like CNET or Wirecutter. Those companies existed because they were able to synthesize all of the information from an actual product that they were researching, put it into a listing, and then have companies or have individuals make purchase decisions from those company listings. That top of the funnel now can be synthesized and condensed into an AI overview in the Google search results themselves. So therefore, the top of the funnel is completely dead already. There's no need or place on the internet for CNET or Wirecutter. That product research, that information that summarizes how products exist, no longer matters to a company. It matters to the AI. So the death of that funnel means humans have to move to the middle of the funnel. And that's that second purchase decision. After the information has been synthesized and the human has done their research, they use the AI to figure out what products they want to buy. Now it's up to the humans to figure out how to sell that product to the person. Time is changing how this is all interacting for how agents are working under the hood. Time is now a factor where instead of being reactive, where humans used to pick up a phone and think of something and say, I would like to purchase a toaster, or I'd like to purchase something for my dog. You always have to think of where are you going to search that. So for the dog, you're going to go into Chewy, and then you're going to navigate through Chewy's website. What is changing is that we now can come to the top of the funnel and speak into a voice assistant or use a keyboard and just say, I need a new dog bowl for my dog. The agent's job and the agent's responsibility is to know enough information about their human that they're going to make the purchase on their behalf without going into those search bars. And they're going to be proactive about it. So if I purchase the same thing 3, 4, 5 months in a row, or every year at the same time, like skiing or mountain biking or hiking, the agent's going to start realizing those patterns and making those decisions on our behalf proactively. And so from a purchasing standpoint, if you're creating a PIM and you have a product description, those product descriptions have to be ready to receive the AI agent's request. Because agents can do 1,000 requests a day on the same product, waiting for the price to drop below $59. So if you see that, you now have enough knowledge and enough data to understand that as soon as you drop this price, how many purchases you're going to make, because those agents will be pinging your system. The biggest myth, I think, is that the CEO is scared to mess up. I think most businesses rely on direction coming from who's steering the ship. And I think CEOs of businesses have been through the cloud transition, have been through all of the last 3 waves that we thought were coming with the metaverse and all of these crazy things, and realizing that they could skip the AI wave and thinking that they'll just wait for somebody else to do it. I don't think that's the case with AI. I think the CEOs need to jump in now and fully understand not only how it works, but how it can work inside of their business with their knowledge and their brand. Because for the last 20 years, they've been curating data. They've been harnessing everything about their company, which is now their IP. And they're scared to use that IP in a way to make more revenue for them because they're scared of what AI can do for them. So I truly think instead of the fear of missing out, I think it's just the fear of messing up. Three to 5 years is a long way out, but I will say in the next year, we're going to be using voice assistants with what's called MTPs, but are basically connections to apps on your phone. So whatever device you have, whether it's a Windows laptop tied to Microsoft or Apple, or if you have a phone that's tied to Siri or Gemini, you're going to have the ability to use that search agent for more tasks based around your applications that you use every day. So let's just take Gmail, Calendar, and some of your messaging apps. Imagine having somebody listening to all of those messages, all of the Gmails and all of the calendars. That's the autonomy of it. Then imagine that keyboard or that voice assistant that you're using on your phone not only has access to that, but has the ability to proactively predict what you want to do with those actions. So if you wanted to go to the airport and you wanted to fly from here to Honolulu, no longer should we be searching flights. No longer should we be searching how to get to Honolulu. That information is going to be brought towards us from those AI agents that are reading our emails, following our calendars, and also listening to our text messages to understand why we're doing it, what type of trip it's going to be, and make those recommendations for us even before we know we need them ourselves. So therefore, when you ask Siri or you ask Gemini, what type of sandals should I buy? They know contextually you're buying those sandals for your trip to Hawaii. They know contextually when you need those sandals shipped to your door, so they can patiently wait for the price to drop, and they don't have to urgently purchase. And so these types of things are going to start to happen by the end of this year, and I think by 3 to 5 years, every single product on the internet that's being sold will have a large percentage of it purchased by an AI agent. If you're not going to do it yourself, find a platform that is AI ready, that can support the AI workflows. Because if you can't use ChatGPT to increase your efficiency as a worker, you're going to have to work with your team on a platform which has rules, guidelines, and brands, like brand rules, on how to work inside of that company. And therefore, from a CEO standpoint, you're going to have to find these platforms that are forward-thinking, that are using generative AI, and are using systems so that the workers can be generative AI powered. I don't think work in the future, in the next 2 years, has anything to do with how human it is. It matters on how humans are using the AI to create workflows and to create automation to increase the revenue of companies. In the last 2 years, in the history of Microsoft, Facebook, all of those big companies that we call the Big Seven, this last quarter was the most revenue they've made per employee. That trend is going to continue. And I'm not saying that people are getting fired. There's going to be way more opportunities with AI than there ever has been with the internet. I think what AI does is increase the spread of how people can perform tasks and get work done. The amount of revenue per employee is going to be much greater because the employees can generate more revenue for each company based on the tasks that they're working on and based on the output that they can perform. Those workers are going to be the ones that are going to be continually hired and hired again. So I think as a retailer, you need to start figuring out where are you going to use AI. And if you can't hack an AI ChatGPT by yourself, go find a platform that you can latch onto that is already using generative AI, and then use that platform with your team to make sure you're all following the same rules.